Hey there, everybody. Happy Fun List Friday to each and every single one of you. And thank you so much for joining me right here on the Eat Sleep List YouTube channel. My name is Matt Johnson, your forever grateful host. And today we're going to be discussing music and video games. Those sweet, sweet soundtracks that enhance the video game playing experience and in some cases went beyond after we turned our consoles off. That's right, we are making the video game soundtracks list. Let's get to work. Now, I can finally admit it, that video game music is the genre of music I listen to more than anything else in the world, all right? I listen to video game music way more than rock music, way more than hip-hop, way more than television themes or Weather Channel, local on the 8s music, all right? I listen to it infinitely more than that. And if you see me with my headphones on, more often than not, there is video game music going on. That's playing in there, all right? It's actually kind of funny because there are times when I go to pick up my wife from work and the radio will be off, and she'll inquire, why is the radio off? That's odd. And there are some times where, yes, I do like peace and quiet. I have those days where I just need to kind of decompress and have no noise. But there are also, more often than not, it's because the radio is off because I've been jamming out to a video game track that I absolutely love and adore. And she's not a video game person, never has been, never will be, and she just would not understand. So I just pretend like I just don't play it in front of her. I just don't want to get picked on, or well, I don't want to put her through that, all right? I have played a lot of video games in my lifetime, and I have special connections to a lot of them because of the music that is in it. All right, these songs, they can enhance a video game moment, make it seem so much bigger than it actually is if the song is just right. And not every song track can be like a winner, right? Not every song can be a hit, but a really good soundtrack can enhance a game experience. Make the game overall like legendary in some senses. And now that doesn't always apply. That doesn't necessarily always apply because I played plenty of games with not so great soundtracks. One of the ones that comes to mind is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I cannot stand the character select screen theme. Cannot stand it. I know it's iconic. Cannot stand it. And a lot of the music throughout the game is not that great, but it is a really spectacular game. But a great soundtrack can also make a game that's not great kind of stand out. Because again, like there was 5 game soundtracks that I knew I was going to have on my top 10 list. And there were other ones, and I want to really do my homework on the other 5, on the remaining 5. And try to figure it out and go through the long list of games that I've played and really iron out what speaks the most to me. What do I listen the most to? And the one came up, and that it almost made it almost made the top 10 list. But it was Digimon World 2. I know I've been talking a little bit more about Digimon lately. Digimon World 2 was the one and only Digimon game that I ever got to have. It was on the PS1, and it was a not great RPG. It's fun. It's nostalgic for me. If I would play it if I had the opportunity to do so, but the gameplay is not good. There's like level up cap limits. Like you can get to a certain level and that's it. You have to read. It's very, very unnecessarily complicated, and it doesn't have a lot of good reviews. But it has some really good soundtracks to it. All right, the battle music, the domain map music, boss battle music. There's a lot of really good stuff on it, but it wasn't enough to put it over. All right, it wasn't enough to get it on this list. But it again, bad game, great music. That's why it stands out to me. And there's other ones that I'm going to talk about too that are really, really great games, and the soundtrack just pushes them over the limit, right? It pushes them into mainstream notoriety. That it just transcends everything. All right, I'm going to talk plenty about one franchise today with this list, and I'm going to have fun talking about the various games that are in it. But but they're iconic because partly because the music. All right, it just sends it over the top, and it's become much bigger than a video game for me. All right, those certain ones. I like applying music to my life, and especially video game music is excellent to do that. If I'm out for a walk by myself, or sometimes with my kid, he's just kind of living his own life. Like, we're not conversing or anything. I'll have headphones on, and I'll have some kind of music that I associate with being adventurous. All right, maybe it's for a platformer. It's just a regular level game. All right, like just a regular level song. If it's for an RPG, maybe an overworld map of sorts. When I was working out, or if I'm doing some kind of if I'm doing some kind of activity that involves requiring strength or exercise, I'm going to find something that's a little bit more higher tempo. Battle music, which is some of my favorite stuff to find in video games, right? There's a lot of very good action-oriented music that I can pull from, that I can use in real life. There's a lot of sad music. There's stoic, there's anger, right? There's stuff that I can channel my anger if I'm pissed off about something. There's a song that I could play, and it just hits right. It just feels really good. And that's why I love video game music so much, is that because it covers all grounds, much like Disney music. I once said that there's a Disney song for every emotion. All right, when I did the Disney music list or Disney songs list, however I phrased it, I mentioned that. There's literally a Disney song for every single emotion, every single thing that you are feeling. And video game music can do that. And a really great video game soundtrack can cover all of those bases. And a lot of the ones I have on my list today are very much part of that. They scratch every single itch. No matter what kind of mood I am, I can put this soundtrack on and feel something and channel whatever emotions I have going on in my mind into something constructive, and to just kind of to hone it to just play along with my emotions, I guess. Just to be around it and not screw up my vibe, if that makes sense. I know I get kind of weird with the language that I use, but it's how I feel. It's how I feel. And video game music is tremendous. I really, I'm very excited to talk about some of my favorite soundtracks today. All right, the lessons from the list for video game soundtracks. There's gonna be a lot of crossover from previous music lists that we have done. But I'm going to treat it like it's the first time you're watching this, because for some of you, maybe it is. It is to associate music with good memories, all right? With any kind of memories, honestly. Music has helped me get through bad times, all right? It has helped me find the strength to accept and move on from bad times, from hard times, from bad decisions. Associating a song with something traumatic. And also in good times, it's made me happy. If I hear a song from a happier time in my life or a happy moment, then that song I'm going to play that music to feel good, all right, to induce different moods. And it's helped me a lot in affecting how my day plays out, most certainly. When it comes to video game music, however, a lot of the stuff, like, I take a lot of things from like big moments in games. Like, there's a lot of like times in my life where okay, I got to pick up the pace a little bit at work, or something strenuous is about to happen. I got to move a little faster. I got to lift some heavy stuff. Or like if I go out, like, I don't know, for a bike ride or something of the sort, I play a song from a specific moment in a game. And it just gives me that power. It gives me that strength. I know I touched a little bit on it in the last subject, but it's really cool. Like, I can channel these moments and seeing how these characters react in these moments with this great music playing and draw inspiration and feelings for it and from it, so to speak. But yeah, it's really simple for this. I've talked a lot about music in moods and in memories and so much that if you have been watching this channel for a little while, you're probably tired of it. But yeah, also I guess don't be shy about your video game music. You'd be surprised how many people you can connect with over video game music. It's a lot. It can be really cool when you meet somebody who has appreciation for a soundtrack or a song the same as you do. All right, everybody. As always, please don't be afraid. Comment below your favorite video game soundtracks, your number one, your top 5, top 10, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to share. You may open my eyes and ears to new music as well, and I'm more than willing to give everything a shot, no doubt about it. Here are my top 10 favorite soundtracks that mean the most to me, that I listen to when I'm not playing the game. And very, very proud of each and every single one of these. Let's get to it. My number 10 is Manhunt. Go for Manhunt. I have a strong affinity for Manhunt, the game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorite games of all time. It's dark, it's gritty, it's gross. And the only reason it works so well, I think, well, not the only reason, but a big part of the reason why it works so well, in my opinion, is the soundtrack. All right, it sets the whole mood, the atmosphere. Yes, you could play this game, there could be no music at all, and it would still be scary as all heck, but the way that the music plays out and reacts to the way that the game is playing out, to the way that you are playing the game, makes it special. All right? There are times where I'm rocking at night, and I'm just like, I got to go clear my head. I'm going to go walk out, and it's dark. And I will put on the Manhunt OST, original soundtrack, and it scares me. It's so terrifying that it heightens my awareness. Like, I'm super hyper aware of my surroundings when I hear this song, because I'm waiting for something to jump out and get me. And that's the beauty of listening to music in different mental states, different emotional states. Because if you're listening to a song to be scared, be afraid, your senses are heightened. And yes, it could be goofy, and you can scared at the smallest little thing, but also you become hyper aware of your surroundings. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I explained that correctly. But I love the way that the Manhunt OST is laid out. So every song has a bass track, different one, unique to the level. It's simple. It plays throughout as long as there's nothing going on. All right. The music starts to pick up when hunters are aware of you. So there's a second part of every single track, and the tone starts to pick up. The string instruments, you can feel like the tension. You can feel them kind of moving if you listen to it. You can feel it in your soul. It's kind of cool. And then if you are caught, if you are found out, not only are you terrified because they're yelling and the icon of James Earl Cash is flickering red on and off very quickly, the music picks up, and it's a very heavy rock music, and it's blatantly obvious, and it's so out of nowhere. It can pick up at any point. Like, it just flows so naturally with the rest of the overall soundtrack that you can go from the first part of every song, right, the simple part where nothing's really going on, all the way to the hardest of hard parts of the track in an instant. You just want that music to go away because it's so terrifying and evil and heavy sounding, and that's what I love about it. Every single track in here is really, really good. I do enjoy Key Personnel, like a lot of the later level stuff, Key Personnel, Deliverance, Train to Kill, Border Patrol, but some of every one of them, the stuff with the smileys, Mouth of Madness is really evil feeling. Those are some of my favorite tracks, but yeah, they're heavy. It feels good. Feels good and makes you really hyper aware, and that's why I love it. It's weird that I would like something and enjoy something so terrifying and scary, but I do. And that's why it makes my number 10. It stands out in that regard. Moving on, number 9. I'm going to go Resident Evil 4 here, the original Resident Evil 4, 2004-2005 time period. And there were several other Resident Evil games that I considered for this list. I thought 2 is probably the one I had the second most consideration from this, because I love 2 a lot. There's a good balance of scary and action heavy and peaceful. Resident Evil 1, Director's Cut Edition especially, really great heavy stuff there. In fact, when I was prepping for my Resident Evil games list way back in March, I was listening to the Resident Evil 1 soundtrack because it was so evil and brooding and heavy. I also consider Resident Evil Dead Aim because it has a really good save theme and a couple other good tracks, but it just wasn't enough for me to justify putting on this list. So I went with Resident Evil 4. It is another one that's one of my favorite all-time games, and it also, the nice thing about it, that there's balance. There's peace. All right, there's a peaceful song. You got the Serenity, which is what they call the save theme in this game. But there's also very scary stuff like Distortion in the Night. That's a terrifying one. And there's a couple different points in the game where that song is used. There's action-heavy songs. Infiltration. And actually, another one of my favorite songs on this one is the Albert Wesker's Mercenaries mode theme. And this is why I picked the original version specifically, is because the Mercenaries mode music is really good. And I like how it depends on who you pick. It's fitting for each and every character. And the Wesker theme is so damn good. So that's that. I mean, the remake ones are really good. It's a little bit more, it feels... it's definitely modernized. It's definitely an upgrade on the original tracks. But if I came up with the original music, that's what I want to listen to. If I'm playing a remake game and I have the option to play the original score with it, I'm going to play the original score every single time. And RE4, the OG, I've beaten so many damn times. Legitimately, probably 20 times at least in my lifetime. And it's always going to stand out with me. So that is my number 9, is Resident Evil 4, the OG soundtrack from 2004-2005. Number 8. This one, I love this one so much. For many, it's so bad it's good. And I guess in some cases it is for me too. There's a definite element of it that just doesn't fit the game. Like, it doesn't make sense that a side-scrolling beat-em-up game for the PS1, although 3D, side-scrolling beat-em-up game, it makes no sense that it would work, but it does. It works for me, and some of these games have the most songs have the most ridiculous music. All right, Fruity Pooty. These are some of the names. I don't know who came up with the names. I don't know who did the music for this game, but you know what? I will say this. It kind of feels like... no, I can't justify... I really can hardly justify it. But it's so bad it's good. And my personal feelings aside from the game, there's some actually really good tracks in it. I especially like the Scrawl World stuff. One of the names of the songs is Balor's New Bag and Funky Guru. And it's probably 2 of the better songs of the whole game. It's happening on Skrull World, where you're fighting Skrulls as Galactus is devouring the planet, which adds a whole another level to this game, or to that experience. And some of the other ones, there's one towards the end where you're in like this medieval town when you're getting ready to fight Doom, and it's got like a very bassy but medieval vibe to it. I don't know how I don't know how it works, but it does. It's a fun experience. It's one of those ones where if you played this for just anybody, they'd think you're crazy. They would. I have personal experience with it. I have personal memories associated with it. And for that reason alone, it's a little bit easier to justify putting something of this magnitude on this list. I will say this too. This Fantastic Four game for the PS1 It is the first game that I remember where I, for some reason, popped it into a CD player and it played all of the game tracks for it. I don't know if many people know that a lot of PS1 games could do that, but this Fantastic Four game is one of them. And it's in my opinion, it's a hidden gem because nobody ever talks about it. This game as a whole, but yeah, popped it in the CD-ROM and I could listen to every single song, so that might play a part in why it's so iconic to me. There's several games that are like that. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which almost made this list, is another one, another PS1 game that could do that. But because the Fantastic Four game could do that, I tried every single PS1 disc that I had and seen what I can get, what I can cheat and use as a music. So as soon as I'm done playing it, go throw it in the stereo or the CD player. I can go and listen to it. But Fantastic Four for the PS1, that is my number 8. We are going to another Marvel game here, and this is actually the oldest game that I have on the list. It is Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage. And while the Super Nintendo version is much cleaner than the Sega Genesis version, I grew up with the Sega Genesis version. I love how rough it sounds. I love the I think Sega's 16-bit and Super Nintendo might be 32. I think that's how that works. But there's some really good songs, and it's not a big list of songs, mind you, but every song on this list slaps. Okay, the main theme song for Maximum Carnage is really, really good, and I listen to it quite often. In fact, I find it more enjoyable, and I associate this song with Spider-Man more so than like any other song, including the Spider-Man animated series theme song. I listen to this one way more because it's got such a fun pace to it. And little did I know until maybe about a decade ago, a little bit more than that it was actually based on a real song. If you've ever played the game and you noticed green jelly, like a green jelly wording logo that flashes as the game is starting to boot up, that's because it's a band that actually did the whole soundtrack to it. And the Maximum Carnage theme song is based on a song that Green Jelly did called Carnage Rules. You can legit look it up. I found it on Apple Music. You could probably find it on Spotify, but you can actually listen to the full song, and it's kind of crazy to hear, at least from my perspective, listen to the 16-bit version for all those years, and then finally discover that it was actually like a real song with lyrics and whatnot. It's surreal. They also have another song, one of the boss battle themes in this game, one of the fight songs for it. I can't remember the name for the specific song, but it drew inspiration from a Black Sabbath song called "The Mob Rules." Go listen to the Maximum Carnage OST first and foremost, and it might be like Heroic Assault or something. Is the track for it, but go listen to that and then go seek out Black Sabbath's "The Mob Rules." It's kind of cool to hear the inspiration that came from it. It's good. It's really good stuff. It's really heavy, hard-hitting stuff. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and the music is it enhances the gameplay. I strong affinity for the gameplay, and even stronger affinity for the music because it made it so much better. So that is my number 7, Spider-Man and Venom and Maximum Carnage. All right, my number 6, we are going to go to my first of several Final Fantasy games on this list. I didn't want to be that guy. I legit was weighing just combining them all into one entry, but one, it wouldn't be it's my list. So if a certain soundtrack for a variety of different games in a franchise hits for me, I should just include it. I shouldn't shy away from it. And 2, they're all individual games and they're all individual scores. There's like seldom any bleed over music. Like every game, no matter how big or small it is, has its own soundtrack. So I need to treat them as specifically special, and that's what I'm going to do here. So My number 6 is actually my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. It is number 8. Final Fantasy 8 and Nobuo Uematsu, who I just talked about this past Monday for the Comic-Con meet and greet list. Worked on this one, and and if I'm not mistaken, all the Final Fantasy soundtracks that I'm going to list today. But 8 was probably the weakest out of the bunch, but it's still like, it's not like a knock. Like it's absolutely fantastic. Force Your Way is my favorite one by far. It is the best boss battle theme in all of Final Fantasy history, like general boss battle theme, in my opinion. I've listened to various cover songs of it. I've listened to various remixes. It goes hard in the paint, as the kids say. It's tremendous. Liberi Fatali, which is the intro song when you first start a new game. Really good stuff. I like the Balam Garden theme. Blue Fields, which is the world map. When I'm walking around during the daytime, I will put this one on in my headphones and enjoy that one. There's a lot of good ones. Other good ones. The Landing, which is from the Dalet mission. If anybody's familiar with Final Fantasy VIII, really good, intense one. Let's see. My Mind is pretty peaceful. Love Grows. Love Grows is another good one. Ride On, which is the flying theme when you get the Ragnarok ship. And Lunatic or Lunatic Pandora is a really good one as well. Just so much good environmental music. Like I preached about, it hits every little note, every little emotion. That's what Final Fantasy music does best. You feel, happy, sad, adventurous, angry, melancholy. There's a song for it to kind of channel it and hone that into something, and not mess up kind of what kind of mood you're in. So, but yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, really, really good stuff there. All right, my next one, number 5, is actually the sequel to Final Fantasy VIII. And we're going to go with Final Fantasy 9 here. And I got the track list in front of me. This is the only video game soundtrack that I ever bought, like a CD that I actually bought. And it's a condensed version of it. Like Final Fantasy 9, like Final Fantasy VIII, 4 discs. A lot of music on them, a lot of different scenery. But the Final Fantasy IX CD was the first one I ever bought, and I worshiped that thing. In fact, I was having a rough week. I remember I split my hand open, like cut it on broke a glass cup or whatever, and slit my hand open. Still see the scar. And I remember I had money and we went to Media Play, and my dad took me to Media Play, and I got to buy the Final Fantasy IX soundtrack. And I used to use this when I used to play Make Believe. All right, when I used to play Make Believe Final Fantasy, if we were in a battle mode, I'd turn on the battle song because, in my opinion, the regular battle music for Final Fantasy IX is the absolute best version of it. I was actually surprised when I realized that it was the regular battle music, because it's that good. Usually a song that good is a boss battle theme, but nope, it was a good one. The world map theme, which is actually called Over the Hill, tremendous stuff. Probably the best world map theme in my opinion. It's got a fun little nice beat to it. In fact, later on in the game, when the entire world is shrouded in darkness, it's called the song track Another Nightmare. The world is shrouded in mist. For those who don't understand what I'm talking about, you're going to be confused, but Another Nightmare is like a darker world map version, and it fits perfectly with the whole atmosphere of the Final Fantasy IX world map on disc 4. Other great songs. Darkness of Eternity, which is the battle against Kuja. My personal favorite song, which I can recommend if you listen to one song from Final Fantasy IX, it would be Not Alone. All right, it's a really cool moment where Zidane, or Zidane, however you pronounce it, I always called him Zidane. They're in Bron Ball, and they're in this. He's going through it. He's going through all the emotions, and because he just discovered his origins, his whole purpose in life, and he's sad, and all his friends are trying to find him, and he's pushing them away, and he's battling all these monsters and struggling, and his friends keep rallying to him. It's just really cool thing, because there are certainly times where I feel alone, no doubt about it. Like nobody likes me. Like no, like I definitely feel that vibe. And then if I put that on, I imagine like being with my friends, and there's so many good memories of just being with friends, and it's a powerful song. If you watch it play out, it's cool. Playing it is unexceptional feeling. But you can watch it on YouTube if you ever want to do it. If it's hard to express the emotions of playing these games to people who've never played them before. It's really, really challenging to explain it. You have to really have experienced the whole story from disc 1 onwards to appreciate some of the moments in the later parts of the game, especially Not Alone. To see how happy and optimistic that Zidane starts off, and he's gathering friends, and then all of a sudden he's brought down to earth, right? His life, his perspective on life is completely shattered at this point, and to see him kind of rally back with friends is really cool. So Final Fantasy IX, excellent soundtrack, and yeah, just in love with it. Proud of that one. My number 4, I'm going to put Super Mario 64 on here. To my personal preference, this is the best Mario soundtrack of all time. It's very fitting of the era. All right, I love when I hear music and it like you could just picture it, like you can timestamp it, if that makes sense. Like, okay, you listen to this, it feels like a 90s video game soundtrack, and an elite 90s era soundtrack at that. I love the crappy N64 sound quality that comes with it. I do, and that enhances the vibe for me. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. You can find if you want. There's OST playlists for Super Mario 64. You can listen to the whole soundtrack straight through. It's like 52 minutes worth of music. It's available on YouTube. The best song, and I don't think many people will argue with this, is the Dire Dire Docks theme, or Jolly Rogers Bay. It's very, very peaceful. It's a great water level. It's got the music is relaxing, and it fits the aesthetic perfectly. I don't know. I don't know any other way to describe it. Go check it out. This would be the one song that I'd recommend for Super Mario 64. Although there are some great ones, I do like the cave dungeon theme, which seems to like pick up like the old. It feels like it's playing off the old like original Super Mario the Underground theme and modernizes it a little bit. That's the kind of vibe I got from it. All of the Bowser battle songs are awesome. I mean, Snow Mountain is iconic. The Lethal Lava Land is a really good one. The Castle Walls, so much more. It's a really great overall soundtrack. And again, probably my absolute favorite one. I listen to that Dire Dire Docks theme song quite often. I do. As a way to calm down and relax. That's how good it is. That's how much I revere it. Is that much. So yeah. So number 4 is Super Mario 64. Going on to number 3, my second to last Final Fantasy entry here, and just getting the playlist up. Wow, I mean this soundtrack is gorgeous. It's beautiful. The first PS2 Final Fantasy game. It's probably, depending on when you ask me, it's probably my 4th favorite Final Fantasy game overall. But the soundtrack is just too good to ignore. It's just too good to ignore. The battle theme is really cool. It's upbeat. When you're playing it mid game, there's like a glass shattering effect that brings you into it. So it's really neat in that regard. It's fun of that. There's a lot that towards the end, the soundtrack I think is some of its better stuff. My favorite song for Final Fantasy X is called "A Fleeting Dream," and if you've never played the game before, the original idea, well, at least within the game, the mission is to go to this place called Xanarkand, which was it's a holy land. It is a place that was destroyed many generations ago, and basically a summoner who's a big part of the party, a big part of the group in this game. Their mission is to go on a pilgrimage and go to Xanarkand and defeat sin, but at the cost of their own life. And they go down it. And everybody's fully aware of it by the time they reach the outskirts of Xanarkand. So as you're running through the ruins of this place, battling monsters, this somber, sad-like song is playing in the background, and it doesn't change. It never goes away until until you get into the heart of the Xanarkand city, and it's very heavy. It's a very heavy, sad, somber song. The other great stuff, Challenge, is probably my favorite battle theme in this game. Heavy rock influence in this one, as well as the main Jekt fight. Actually, don't. It's I think it's called Final Battle. It doesn't have a specific name for it, but it's a heavy rock. They're both heavy rock influence ones, which at the time it was very out of the ordinary for Final Fantasy. There were some rock influences, no doubt, but nothing quite as heavy as what they did here with this game. Spira Unplugged, relaxing. Besaid, which is the main, the first island you visit after Titus and starts to get accustomed to the team, the pilgrimage group. Super peaceful, and there's so many other goodies along the way. It's beautiful. It's it's a really great soundtrack. There's so much more to it. I mean, I can list every single song that I can that I'd willingly listen to. It's impressive. I think this might have been the last one of the. I mean, I don't even think Nobuo Uematsu, he was full time on this. I think he was starting to kind of pull back a little bit at this point. Not so much replaced, but actually maybe he was kind of getting phased out at this point, but a little bit. He just wasn't doing the albums full time, because there's a couple other individuals here that are listed alongside of it. Junya Nakano, I shouldn't even be trying to pronounce or butcher these names, but regardless, Final Fantasy X is my number 3. My number 2 is the most overall relaxing soundtrack that I have ever experienced in a game, and it is from Minecraft. Okay, I love Minecraft for a variety of different reasons. In fact, one of the on the ways to relax list that we did way back when on a Mirror List Monday, playing video games is one of my ways to relax, and Minecraft specifically was the game that I most specifically chose, because partly the music. Overall, it's a very peaceful game, and when I get frustrated, when I get worked up, I like to get creative. And if I'm going to do it with a video game, it's going to be Minecraft. All right. I just love the feel, the vibe, the graphics, the ambiance of Minecraft games. And the music just plays a big part. Like every time I listen to some of these songs here, which I'm going to list in just a moment, I think of just the progression of a day, like within the game of Minecraft. The sun going up, the sun coming down, the various weather that happens, the beautiful waterfalls, the volcanoes, the villages, the creeper monsters, the people that you can meet and they make that little noise. It is a beautiful overall soundtrack, and I don't know all of the details of who does the soundtrack. The most familiar name that I've come across, C418, it did it, or one. The game updates frequently, but a lot of the most iconic tracks came from this individual. Biome Fest is one of my absolute favorites, as well as Blind Spot. Araya Math is a really good one. The main Minecraft theme is really good. I listen to these, like, there's times where I don't even want to play the game. I'll just put the game on, put the controller away, and just listen to the music and let it roll. Let it happen. And just sit there and in silence and enjoy it. Enjoy the atmosphere that is being presented to me. There's a full soundtrack video on YouTube that I found, and that's basically I'll listen to that throughout, and I just in my head I just picture the world of Minecraft, and it's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful soundtrack. I invite anybody, even if you don't love playing video games, to go seek this stuff out. There is not a fast-paced song on here. It is pure relaxation. And if you're playing a game as creative as Minecraft is, that's the kind of soundtrack that you want to have with you. All right, on to my number one. I'm wearing the shirt, the Van Gogh. I've worn this shirt before, a little prematurely, but I wanted to. There it is, a little bit better shot of it. But I wanted to specifically bring it for this one because it just makes sense. Final Fantasy VII is the best video game soundtrack in my opinion. All right. This was the first Final Fantasy game that I ever played. And as great as the gameplay is, the way that it's portrayed, the soundtrack stood out the most to me. I couldn't believe how great a soundtrack could be when I first played Final Fantasy VII. I don't mind the remastered stuff, the remake. I don't mind that at all either, but the original just holds a special place in my heart because I know what that game meant to me. I know what the music meant to me. I mean, it's just nonstop hit after hit. This is the first time I was, again, aware how great music can be for a video game. My favorite song for this one is Genova. It's actually spelled out, hyphenated. It's Genova. It's a battle song. Every time you come across the Genova monster, this song occurs. And it's one of my favorite special, like, unique boss themes in the entire franchise. A lot of great remixes. In fact, if you go seek out the Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie, they do a really good Genova theme. All of the battle music in general is really good in here. The world map theme is good. Some of the various towns are really good. My favorite town spot is City of the Ancients. That was a spot where I used to just go to and again, like Minecraft, put the controller away and just listen to the music because it had a cool instrumental to it. It was nice listening. I mean, in the end, the Genova Complete is a great battle song, which is at the very end of the game. Judgment Day, which is when the party is moving through the final cavern to get to the main villain Sephiroth. Birth of a God is a great theme, and of course the ever iconic One-Winged Angel, which is, I mean, that has transcended the game. If there's one track that even people who never played a Final Fantasy game in their life know, it's One-Winged Angel, because that's how damn good it is. I can go on and on and on, but these are all soundtracks that I listen to on the reg. That's the soundtrack. That is the video game soundtrack list, and it is complete. I thank you so much, as always, for spending however amount of time that you do on these videos. You will never know how much I appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday. We will be back on Monday with a mirror list subject I have not determined yet. But please, continue to tune in. Continue to pay attention for our shorts content, our fun interactive content. And yes, new list, remember, every Monday and Friday. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And until next time, do you even list?